I'm Davy. I'm awesome. And welcome to Davy's Awesome Movies, where I review the styles of movies that I love, the alternative, B-rated, cult-style flicks. And this week we're going to be wrapping up a slasher series. This final one was made in 1990, and it was directed by Sally Madison, written by Catherine Siren, who also produced it along with Roger Corman, and it was distributed by New Concord. Ladies and gentlemen, The Slumber Party Massacre 3. Or as it's known in the Philippines, Captive Women. This movie opens with a bunch of teens having a relaxing day at the beach, lounging around, collecting some sun, playing volleyball. But in reality, this had to really suck considering this whole beach thing was filmed in the middle of January, which meant these poor girls and guys in the middle of winter were out there in their swimsuits. They've all talked about it. They were freezing. And then a spectator comes by to watch the rousing game of volleyball. I'm guessing he's a fan of Nirvana.
Yo, buddy, keep your eyes to yourself.
Okay, spoilers. He's not the killer, but looking at him, I would definitely assume he's a killer. So I would just be like, you know what? Take a gander. While the game is going on, like it usually does in volleyball, the ball gets away from them. So one of the girls goes to retrieve it.
So, what's it worth to you?
You're Ken.
I will flip if her name is Barbie.
You're Juliet, Craig's little sister?
Damn. As they all go to leave, the lead girl, Jackie, leaves her address book. I wonder if that's going to be important later. Later in the day, one of the girls that was at the beach, she's getting some supplies for the slumber party. She's getting into her car and, well, you get the drill. Although I gotta say, didn't expect them to have the first death this quick in the movie. Our lead Jackie goes to her home where her parents are not there. The way they explain it in this movie is that her parents are actually away in another town that they're moving to, house shopping. So they left their teenage daughter there to be there in case somebody wants to look around and buy the house. That's responsible parenting, because that's what all three of these movies have in common. Irresponsible parents, writers and directors who are both women, and 30-year-olds. When Jackie gets home, her neighbor Morgan is inside checking out the house.
I thought you were having,
and being very creepy about it. Very creepy. They explained that he was in the house by himself because Jackie forgot to lock the door, and because it was for sale, he figured it was an open house. Now, even though Morgan is extremely creepy and off-putting, Jackie still offers to show him around the house.
I looked. Already.
Okay, after you leave, I would go upstairs and check your underwear drawer. But if nothing else, I'm sure this will remind Jackie to always lock the door. It's enough to remind me. Now all the girls arrive for the slumber party. Well, except one.
There's nothing else to do until Sarah gets her with the food.
Sarah's not coming. Jackie and Maria talk about a new guy Maria met at her job.
He's really nice and really handsome. He has dark eyes. Oh God, I just love older men.
Well, I gotta say, it's really good. You're so good at acting. Now, just in case you were wondering exactly how creepy is Morgan, he definitely stole her underwear. Of course, the guys from the beach show up, uninvited, unannounced, because they're in a Slumber Party Massacre movie. And apparently in this world, guys do not understand that they're not invited to slumber parties. Or even why they shouldn't want to go to a slumber party. Trust me, I've never been to a slumber party per se, but my wife has had friends over and stay in the night, and it's not all that exciting. Is that why I didn't get a whole lot of action in high school? Because I didn't try to scare the crap out of girls like they do in all three of these movies? Instead, I kind of went with the, hey, let's talk and get to know each other plan. Well, that and the fact that when I was in high school, I didn't look like I was pushing 40. Just then, we see Kurt Cobain's #1 fan sneaking around the house. And the guys have all been kicked out, and now they're trying to figure out a way to smooth things over. So while Frank and Tom decide to go to the store and pick up some flowers and candy or something like that, they leave Michael to stay and apologize.
Look, I can explain.
Okay, you can explain this one of two ways. You can tell them, girls, we were trying to scare you because for some reason we really thought that would get us laid. Or you can just simply sum it up by saying, girls, we're dumb. Just then, Michael comes face to face with the killer. He runs around from the back of the house to the front of the house, and instead of actually trying to fight him, is desperately pleading for the girls to let him in, just as... he stabbed him! In front of his house that's for sale with the for sale sign! Oh, the sweet irony! But at least the killer did put the sign back. He may be a killer, but he still has manners. And without manners, we're nothing. One of the other guys from the beginning, Duncan, he gets a master plan to get inside. The girls had ordered some pizza because Sarah never showed up, and he infiltrates the pizza delivery girl, offers to take the pizza inside, and even gives her money for the shirt she's wearing so he can pretend to be the pizza guy himself.
I'll let him in. At least he brought food.
See, guys, that's how you get a girl to invite you in. Not by scaring her, but with pizza. As far as the actual pizza girl, she gets a tip. Tip of the drill. Get it? Yeah? Screw you. At least I tried. You all just sit there on your ass and let me do all the work. The girls inside hear noise at the window and they think it's the boys trying to mess with them again. So they, in turn, go to mess with them. It's not the guys, it's Mr. Seattle Grunge. Turns out he found out where she lived because of her address book, and now she's got it back, so really this wasn't all that important. But it does raise a good question. Why was your own address in your address book? Jackie calls the police.
This weirdo probably just wanted to return your address book. Call us if you see him again.
Who are you gonna call? Not those guys! Detective Davis is also there, and he's reading a paper about a retired cop who committed suicide.
So, did you know this guy?
I'm thinking this is going to come back later. Now, the guys have showed up, the girls have let him in, and it's time for Frank to apologize to Jackie.
I am sorry.
I see you spared no expense. Ken from the beach has also shown up, and him and Juliet go upstairs. After they're done, Juliet decides to go take a bath. While she's doing that, the killer comes in and... throws Jackie's mom's plug-in vibrator in the bath. So the moral of this story, ladies, it's all about battery-powered. Maria goes to get the gossip from Juliet. Okay, Maria, I know that's not the gossip you were expecting, but you gotta admit, this is much juicier. Ken has an idea.
I'll call my uncle. He's an ex-cop.
They call the police, but the police think it's another prank.
You ever feel you may be wrong? You know, ignore a call from someone who might really need help?
Why do our job and go actually check on a call where people are saying they're being attacked? That would mean I'd actually have to move or something. Seriously, the police are not this lazy. I had them show up at my house once because my toddler got a hold of my phone and hit the emergency thing, so it called them. The detective, though, decides, you know what? I get off in about an hour, I'll go check on it then. So he's still a bad cop, just not as bad as the other one. Ken's uncle is not answering, so him and Tom decide to go to his house. On their way, though, Ken suggests they stop at a lumberyard to pick up some weapons.
It's perfect.
I remember the first time I watched this movie, when it got to this part where it was unveiled that Ken was the killer, all I could think was, duh! Wasn't much of a surprise. They have a little bit of a tussle, and Ken gets a hold of a chainsaw. And now it's time for Ken to saunter back to the house. Because, hey, there's a slumber party to massacre. As far as Tom goes, it turns out he's not dead. Because sawing the Achilles tendons on somebody, whereas that would hurt like a mother, wouldn't actually kill them. Slow him down, yes, but not kill him. Jackie realizes that there is a basement window that the killer could get in through, so her and Frank go down to the basement to secure that window so that he can't get back in. And while they're looking around, they find something. The weirdo doing his best Kurt Cobain impression.
No!
Too soon? Seriously though, this guy's character was completely and utterly pointless. The only reason for him to be in this movie was to give us somebody to think might be the killer. Didn't even get a name. He's casted as the weirdo. After Ken calls to tell them to all stay put, he goes into his armored car that he has for some reason, and inside we see that he has a shrine to his uncle.
Uncle? This is for you.
They never explain why your uncle would want this.
I can't stand this.
If you're talking about this movie, then me too. Ken returns. Hey everyone, look what I got! Poor Duncan is killed, so Frank takes the fight to Ken. Across the street...
I'd like to report a disturbance.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll have somebody out there right away.
The police actually believe Morgan, which goes to show that maybe my brother is right. Perving has its benefits. Back to Ken and Frank.
You killed him!
That was kind of the point, Jackie. Most of the girls run upstairs. Because... idiots. Except for Maria. She finds Tom. Who is dead. But no, I didn't leave out the part where he was killed. They left it out. We probably should have seen that. Because last we saw, Tom was crawling away. Ken was like a mile away. What happened? At one point, did Ken find Tom and kill him? You know what? Who cares? Let's just get forward with this movie. Ken catches up to Maria and Janie.
You're not being nice!
Seriously, just because someone is trying to brutally murder you does not mean it's okay to be rude. She crashes through the window, and it was actually the actress doing that stunt. But we don't see him go up and actually kill her. It just later shows her dead body. Because why would we want to see killing happen in a slasher film? That just doesn't make sense. Maria runs upstairs and hides in a closet in the master bedroom. Unbeknownst to her, in another closet in the same room, Susie's hiding. Which definitely begs the question. With all the closet space in this house, why do Jackie's parents want to move? Ken finds Susie, and just as he's about to kill her... Maria, to the rescue! Sort of. It doesn't like knock him out or something. Just kind of pisses him off and she runs off. But makes him forget that he was about to kill Susie. So there you go.
Come back!
Okay. Maria, Diane, and Jackie all run down to the basement to try to get out through that window. But for some reason, they can't figure out how to climb through a window. As they're about to get out, though, Ken corners them. It's a good thing your dad likes to fish. Once he catches up to them, Susie has a bucket of bleach that she throws in Ken's face, blinding him. Which, in my opinion, is kind of a mercy. Because now the actor can't see the faces that we're all making while we're watching this movie. Something like... While Ken is just swinging the drill wildly, Maria gets sliced in the back. So now she just starts bleeding.
But if I said something to you that made you angry, I'm sorry. I take it all back, really.
Yeah, you said, hey, why don't you play Ken in this movie? Unforgivable.
You can touch me. That's what you want.
This scene wasn't in the original cut. In the original cut, he just killed her very quickly. But executive producer Roger Corman refused to release that cut because he felt that this movie needed more nudity to get people to watch it. Because, truth be told, there was a little bit before this part, but there wasn't a whole lot. Still wasn't a whole lot even with this part added in, but a little bit more. But this added doesn't really work well, because spliced with the original cut, Susie's behind them, Diane and Jackie are in front of them, basically just watching as their friend is getting molested by a blind maniac. Not saying anything, not doing anything, just watching. For like 5 minutes. Watching until... Maria needs new friends. Now Ken needs to find the last 3.
Now we're even almost!
Not really. kitchen light is still on. The hallway light is still on. In the living room, there's a fire going on. They can still see you pretty well. You know, I can't help but notice, though, the police still haven't shown up.
Marco!
Oh! Oh!
You didn't really need to say Polo. You could have just walked up and hit him with the thing. Then again, that's what Arnold would have done. Either that or he would have cried, "Fish out of water!" They finally subdue him.
Let's just kill him and then he'll never get away. We can't just kill him!
Sure you can. At this point, I'm pretty sure you can claim self-defense. While they're debating on whether or not to kill him, Ken starts having flashbacks.
I'm your uncle. I'll always love you. Uncle Billy has something for you.
Flashbacks of his very inappropriate relationship with his uncle. Why are you killing for him? The girls are still debating, though. So you convinced yet? Good.
Jackie, stop! It's okay!
The hell it's okay. Good luck getting asking price for that house now. Oh, the police finally show up.
Please, open up.
You guys are so freaking sued. So there you have it. That's the third and final installment of the original series for the Slumber Party Massacre. This movie did have some moderate success, as it had a $3 million budget and did gross $1.2 million in the box office. Since then, has also made a lot more money just because of the fact that it's the third Slumber Party Massacre movie. However, this one has been hailed as the worst of the Slumber Party Massacres, and I'd have to agree. I mean, it's got certain similarities to the other Slumber Party Massacre movies, but really, the only way it's connected is there's a killer killing girls at a slumber party. That's the connection. That's it. Whereas the first two movies were connected because in the second one, it was one of the girls from the first movie's character hallucinating and going crazy, imagining what was happening to her because of what had happened in the first one. So they were very connected. This one, no characters from any of the movies, no connection whatsoever. Which to me is weird because that could have been an easy thing. They were saying this guy was killing in tribute to his uncle. Why was his uncle just a retired cop? Why wasn't his uncle the killer from the first movie? At least that would have connected it. Another way I would say it's connected is not really story-wise, but both the writer and director were women, just like the previous two. But the director, Sally Madison, does admit that she's not a fan of horror movies. She doesn't even like horror movies. Didn't even really like her own movie. She only took the job because it was a chance for her to finally direct something. Which is why a lot of people did later say they felt like this movie was very lackluster. And like I said, I gotta agree with them. Apparently so did she, because this was the only movie Sally Madison ever directed. Even the writing in this, though, I gotta say was kind of lazy. There were two characters in there, the weirdo and Morgan, who literally had no point. They were there to be the guys that we think, oh, that might be the killer, even though we didn't. You watch the movie, you basically know it's Ken from the beginning. Especially because the other two would have just been too obvious. Granted, in the other Slumber Party Massacre movies, they never really did try to make it seem like there was a mystery to who the killer was. But then again, that was one thing I didn't really care for about this one, is that it did seem like a very half-assed attempt at making it into a mystery. The weirdo served no purpose whatsoever, whereas Morgan, yeah, called the police, but they didn't show up until the very end of the movie anyway, so what does it matter? The police had shown up and, shot the guy, maybe, but no. Like I said, this movie just didn't have the same feel as the other movies. The first movie, the writer and directors both wrote it just to get their foot in the door, but really put some effort into this so that hopefully they would get more work soon. The second movie, in my opinion, was a great idea. To have a survivor from the original movie go nuts and create a world in her head. It was a brilliant idea. The third movie really felt like it had all the effort of somebody going I'm going to make a movie so I can simply make a movie. Which is kind of what Roger Corman was known for, so okay. So as far as what I recommend watching this movie, yes, it's not terrible, it's just not good, but I'm that kind of person that I want to see the whole series. So if you checked out the other two Slumber Party Massacres, then you should just check out Slumber Party Massacre 3. Just don't get your hopes up. So there you have it, that's my movie review this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, hit that little bell so you get notifications when I post new videos, and leave a comment. Tell me which of the Slumber Party Massacre movies was your favorite. Don't say it was this one. Love you guys.